Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Fearless Floyd Show. As always, I am your host, Fearless Floyd. As you see from the banner, we're going to try to talk about Venezuelan currency. It's quite confusing, even for people in the financial world, simply because their currency has hyperinflated so many times, been renamed, relabeled, and I'm going to try to break this down for you in 4 videos. The first one is this video, which will be the introduction video. Part 2 will be on the Fuerte. Part 3 will be on the Soberano. And part 4 will be on the digital or Digitale. So we're going to cover each one. Now, each one of those, and I call them types of currency, because they have multiple series in some of those issuances. Like the Digitale, they came out with one in 2021 and they came out again with another one in 2023, but yet neither one of them are called the first series or the second series or even have a series identification, as do the Fuerte and the Soberano. Is it a possibility it's eventually going to come out? As far as I know today, with the research that I've just done to get this video, and I've been working on this for a hot minute now, I couldn't find anything to designate between the series identifier, first series or second series or series 1 or series 2, however they want to label it, for the Digitale. So we'll go over that. But basically, there's just 3 types, okay? And they came out in specific years. So anything, and listen, I'm not giving anybody financial advice. I'm not a financial expert. I would say I'm financially illiterate. So I'm learning just like everybody else, but I try to go do as much research as I can on my own. When there are things that I still can't find on my own, I like to call people up or email people and reach out and get other people's opinions. So I'm not giving anybody financial advice. All we're doing is we're going over Venezuelan currency. I'm trying to define as much as possible as I can to you what each one is, what actual denomination, even though I'll just use the 2020 note for an example that says 1 million, what it really is in that one would be Sobranos. Okay. And it's just bear with me, be patient. We're going to try to walk through this as easy as we can. But I'll just start off. Let me get you guys on the same page so we're all rolling together. Is that fair enough? I want to use that preset, so that's what I'm going to use. And help button's right in the way. Let me see if I can scroll down. That helps. There we go. All right. I want to thank Banknote World. They sent me this nice book out of the blue on the banknotes of Venezuela several years ago. And I hung on to it. I was like, man, this is cool. This is a neat little book. It's going to come in handy someday down the road. And here we are, someday down the road. So it's going to come in handy. So let's all get on the same page together. And you're looking, whoops, I didn't mean to go that much. Zoom in just a little bit. That's about enough. All right, so Bolivar. And I read these things specifically for my visually impaired viewers, and I do have them. And they have reached out to me and thanked me for how I present my videos. So, the Bolivar, or the Bolivar, Venezuelan currency, the Bolivar, has been around since the late 1800s, and it wasn't until 2008 that it experienced a major change. Due to high rates of inflation, the Bolivar Fuerte, which means strong, was adopted at a rate of 1 to 1,000 original Bolivars. The new Bolivar Fuerte banknotes were issued in denominations of 2, 5, 10, 20, 50, and 100. In 2016, the Bolivar Fuerte was redenominated to the 500 up to the 20,000 due to hyperinflation, and then again in 2017 with the 100,000 banknote. In 2018, the Bolivar Fuerte was removed from circulation and was replaced by the Bolivar Soberano, with 5 zeros being taken off. So basically, instead of having all those zeros across the front of the note, they just knocked off 5 zeros. In 2021, to curb rampant hyperinflation, a new currency was introduced to Bolivar Digitales at a rate of 1 million to 1 to the Bolivar Soberano. Are you following me? Because each new currency, as I told you, there's 3 types, okay? Each one of those new types piggybacks on top of the prior currency. So the Soberano is built upon the Fuerte. The Fuerte is built upon the old Bolivar. You follow me? I know it's confusing. It's like going up steps, trying to reach your destination, where we're going, hopefully to a non-hyperinflated currency. The Venezuelan Bolivar owes its name to Latin American liberator Simón Bolivar, who led the Venezuelan War of Independence under Bolivar's command. The countries of Ecuador, Colombia, Peru, and Bolivia also gained their freedom from the Spanish Empire. On this account, Simón José Antonio de la Santísima Trinidad Bolivar y Ponte Palacios y Blanco. Holy crowd, man, what a name. I wasn't expecting it to go for 3 lines. So, Simón Bolivar. All right. It was called El Liberator, or the Liberator of America. He was born on July 24th, 1783, to a wealthy family of Spanish descent who took their riches from their flourishing gold and copper mines. He was only about 10 years old when he lost both of his parents, while at a young age, Bolivar was sent to study abroad, just like any other man from an upper-class family during his time. He lived in Madrid, Spain, where he was introduced to a philosophical movement called the Enlightenment, which was widespread across Europe in the 17th and 18th centuries. And it goes on a little bit more history about Bolivar, and he is on the 1 mil banknote. And there you go. So I like to talk about this one because it has the 1 million on here. You see, it doesn't even have any zeros on here. So it's a good example to use. See, this is the Venezuelan 1 mil in Bolivar. They use it as well. That's why I'm not going to try to recreate the wheel for anybody. And we'll go over the Bolivar Fuerte first series from 2008 to 2016. And just to give you a little snapshot of what that looks like. Bolivar Fuerte, first series, 2008 to 2016. Each banknote of the Bolivar Fuerte features a famous Venezuelan political figure on the front and wildlife on the back, with changes in color depending on the year. Very colorful currency, to say the least. Due to its hyperinflation, I actually heard somebody say that they have a friend in Venezuela who had so much of this hyperinflated currency, they used it to insulate the walls of their home in Venezuela. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with the Venezuelan currency in the future. All right, we have the Bolivar Fuerte second series from 2016 to 2018. Each banknote of the Bolivar Fuerte features a famous Venezuelan political figure. Pop, 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 pop. Same thing as the first series. And this just goes over, talks about who's on each note. And we'll go over that. And then we have the Bolivar Soberano first series of 2018. On December 5th, 2018, the Bolivar Fuerte was removed from circulation and was replaced by the Bolivar Soberano at a rate of 1 to 100,000 Bolivar Fuertes. Okay. And remember, the Fuertes were based on the old original Bolivar. Okay. From the 1800s and 1900s. When we got into the early 2000s, when the currency started, actually, probably under Chavez towards the end of his term. And I was reading up on Hugo Chavez. He was there before Maduro. He went to Cuba to get cancer treatment, and I don't know why any world leader would go to Cuba, of all places, for cancer treatment when clearly world renowned, the number one cancer center is MD Anderson right here in good old, well, I don't know how good old Houston, Texas is anymore, but Houston, Texas, folks. The two Bolivar Soberano notes features the heroine for Venezuelan independence, and explains what they are. And then they came out with the second series. Where'd that one go? There it is. The second series of 2019, which is just 1 year later. So the first series came out in 2018. This is the Soberano. And the second series came out in 2019. The third series came out in 2020. So 18, 19, and 20 for the Soberano. Okay. And I can't just jump to a page. Oh, maybe I can. Let me, it's the Fuerte. We'll go over all these. This gives you pictures, so it's going to be really easy when we get there. There we go. So the Bolivar Soberano first series of 2018. Then they did the second series in 2019. They did the third series in 2020. Very easy to remember. So what did they do in 2021? 2021, they came out with the Digitales. Okay. So just remember it like that. Into the 20s, they went digital. 2021, they went digital. They've added another one in 2023. I don't have much information on those particular notes, but that's what we have. Now, if you would like to pick up this book and follow along yourself, it's real easy. I'm going to show you. Get your phones out. Whoops, I went one too many. There you go. If you want a copy of the same book that we are using in this presentation, just scan that QR code right there. Pick you up a digital copy, download it, put it on your computer. Then you can follow along. You'll have the same book that I have, only in digital format. I know, isn't that so cool? So there you go. we're going to go over each individual one. I don't know if I'm going to do them live or I'm going to pre-record, but I'm going to do what I can as much as I can. I got a couple comments over here. Let me go jump on these. Hey, Carlos, how you doing? How you doing, Larry Clemens? A pull and a John shout. Yeah, right. Hey, Jenny Hayes, how you doing? Thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. Over here, actually, I was watching YouTube myself. That's what I do when I work. I listen to other people, and I know there's a lot going on tonight. I know Nino's live. My boy Jason Brashears with Archaics, he's live right now as well. So thank you for coming over here and hanging out with me, little old me. Jimmy B, how you doing? Sabrina, how you doing? Thank you for watching. Trinity, Alabama. Robin, how you doing? For the United States, and I was privileged enough to talk to somebody who's talking to a cabinet secretary in the Trump administration. Got a little earful today. That was unique to be in that position, to be able to have that access and hear those particular things. So it's good and bad. And believe me, the people are the good people who that should be on the front lines and fighting. You may not see them on the front lines, but they're definitely fighting. I can tell you that for a fact. And hopefully we can get some traction and get some things moving. They're definitely going after the environment, like a really green climate, like nothing being sprayed in the air. You know what I'm talking about? All of that getting cleaned up. So, Tamara, hi from Canada. Hello from Houston, Texas. Matt C, how you doing? Yeah, I told you guys I'm in a unique position. There's some of us who are in unique positions like this. Anything on the RV. I don't know. You should know from what I'm not talking about, because there's just I'm limited on what I can say. Nobody's told me not to say anything. And that means nobody's personally picked up the phone and said, hey, Floyd, you cannot talk about this, that, or these persons or some event, whatever. No international or any type of governmental agency or a corporation. Nobody's said anything to me about not saying anything. So I'm free to talk about whatever I want to talk about. However, some things I've just been asked to not really address. It's not a must. It's kind of do yourself a favor kind of thing, and just go sit down and shut up. So that's what I've done. Probably sounds like some pretty good advice. Do in my opinion, are we close? Man, did y'all see what XRP did today? Holy crap. I told myself, buy more. And I was waiting for it to dip below $2. I was like, if it goes down below $2, I'll get some. And it just went to 213. And it got to a high of like 290, 291 today. I mean, look at that. This thing, it just went through the roof, exploded. So if you would have bought in even at 213, you could have, yeah, could have made rent. Back to the United States, in my opinion, due to what has been publicly stated by Trump and some of his cabinet members, I've done videos on this. Go watch it, about the debt, United States, how they don't allegedly, they're not worried about this $36 trillion in debt. Yeah, would they like to pay that off, get that out of the way? Would they like to get as much of that 36 trillion reduced out of fraud and corruption and recouping some of these expenditures and grants and all this other stuff that's floating around out there that nobody really knows where it's at, how it got there, who authorized it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it's a lot. I'll put it this way. The Trump administration does not have enough legal minds, experienced legal minds in their arsenal right now to keep up with the discoveries they're finding that need to be thoroughly investigated to connect all the dots because of the sophistication being utilized to create entities that are so layered, like we talk about operating in private, okay? How they have a holding company and then they'll do a nonprofit and then they'll put a trust under that and then boom, and they just keep layering it. So by the time that, they're funding this one entity up here that's save the children worldwide with Happy Meals. Okay. So you think, okay, cool. We're feeding children. That's a good thing, right? Well, not really, because the money's going somewhere else. It's being diverted. It's majority of it's never getting where it needs to be. It goes and pays for somebody's wedding in their condo in New York. And we're not going to mention any names. Otherwise, I'll be found hanging on a doorknob by a necktie. Just saying. But what has been publicly stated, go watch my videos, is that the assets of the Department of Interior, okay, and that includes all tribal land as well. That would be the Bureau of Indian Affairs. Hundreds of trillions of dollars of assets that have been unaccounted for, mismanaged. So currently, allegedly, what the Department of Interior are doing is going in and they're doing an audit and they're trying to figure out what our assets really truly valued at, because the Biden administration just screwed everything up so bad, nobody really has a full accounting. There's no geological surveys of offshore oil and gas reserves that they can utilize. Go, okay, and I'm just using an example here. We have 1 trillion barrels of liquid natural gas in the Gulf of America. All right, in this pocket, and I'm going to call it the ABC shale pocket. So, and there may not be shale in the middle of the ocean because that'd be, I'm expressing my ignorance, but I'm just using an example so you can easily understand. So now that they know that they have 1 trillion cubic feet of liquid natural gas right there, they can claim that as an asset and put it on the books and manage it properly. And that's what's been happening. It's been mismanaged or ignored or abandoned or whatever. That's why they're trying to get rid of some of these federal buildings. They're like, why are we paying for this building, that we have 10 tenants in and it's 90 stories and, it's just a waste of money. So I think once the United States has that and assets in the whole Fort Knox with the gold thing, where's the gold? How much gold? There's a whole, I don't know how much, I don't know the numbers, but apparently there are a lot of, there's a lot of shipments of gold being transferred from country to country. I've heard a lot of it's coming in the United States, going to New York to JP Morgan Chase for storage. Basically, the New York Federal Reserve Bank is the main, excuse me, the main bank for the Federal Reserve System. They're also, in a joint venture there with JP Morgan Chase. I would say Iraq is closer to doing something than the United States. The United States, they need to get their shit together. They need to get a budget. They need to figure out where all this money is, especially the Pentagon budget. I'm sure every day they're just, because they're all friends and they've all been communicating for years, behind the scenes, back since the first Trump administration. So, instead of picking up the official phone, they're like, oh my God, I can't believe this. I got another 35 billion going over here to this crazy, wild idea or entity that doesn't make any sense, that nobody would ever do in a million years. However, they're finding this, constantly, every day, all day. And it's so enormous, so widespread that they've overwhelmed themselves. And they're trying to force as much of this into the public sphere as they can. That's why Trump took Zelensky out there and put him on Front Street. That was a setup. And he just like, okay. He got in front of God and everybody. All right, let me get back over here because this is supposed to just be an introduction. I don't want to carry it on because I want people to go watch this video. So anyway, that's what I think is going on in the RB. Are we? Is there a potential to go to an asset-backed currency here in the United States issued by the U.S. Treasury and not the Federal Reserve Bank? Absolutely. Are we going to get the rainbow currency? I just have no idea. I've never seen any. There's those images floating around out there. So hello, Irene. Hello, Multi Troy. Robin, how y'all doing over there in the North Carolina mountains? I hope y'all are better. I sent out a couple boxes for y'all guys after the hurricane. I never heard anything back from who. I don't remember who I sent it to, but she's in my book over here. Scarlet, I believe. Silence is golden. Yep. Multi Troy. Nick used to say that the Bolivar is a sleeper. Bear, how you doing? Thank you, Irene. I appreciate that. Yeah, the 10.6 trillion, and it's a Ponzi scheme. Even Elon said it the other day. They get it. They understand what's going on. The currency is being hypothecated, but if you're Elon Musk and you're the richest man in the world and you're sitting on the biggest golden goose egg ever, besides the Federal Reserve Bank, why would you want to destroy that? And that's kind of to save America, do I blow up my own house to do it? That's kind of what they're looking at. So they're trying to get a way around that. And that's why Trump came up with, hey, we'll sell these gold cards for, what was it, $5 million a pop. And that's a brilliant move, I've got to admit, because other countries do that. You can go buy and get you some citizenship and St. Kitts and Nevis. There's all kind of places in the Caribbean, all these little islands that you have to go in there and invest. They want you to, buy a house and live there for 5 years. The house must be like $250,000 or something like that. Listen, nobody's just going to hey, come on over here, except the Biden administration. We'll give you free citizenship. Usually there's some little catch. So just do your own research. You can find that it's everywhere. Yeah, but a little bit more of that, the actual, was it 25 trillion? Part of that goes back into pensions, banks, and insurance companies. So, we all know how that works. Baby crab cakes, how you doing? I have not been hiding from you guys. As you know, I'm a professional rigger and stagehand. I work in the theater. And due to my car wreck, I took myself off the roster. So they weren't calling me. Now I'm on call 24 hours. You know, they can call me right now and go, hey, can you be at the hobby center at 10 o'clock? And I can say yes or no. So what do we got going on in Houston, Texas right now? Well, we have the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. Just finished the barbecue World Championship barbecue cook-off. We had Mardi Gras down in Galveston Island. So, and then we had, all the normal stuff that's going on, plus the livestock show trail ride, the parade downtown, a lot of events going on, stagehands, riggers, needed everywhere. So they have been giving me calls left and right. And I've been working. And when we work, because most of it has been rigging calls, riggers are the first ones in and the last ones out. Okay. Because all our stuff comes on and we put everything up in the air, and then everything that comes underneath that, which would be your lights, audio, LED screens, backdrops, whatever. And then we're out of there. And then the stage comes, and then they put the set on the stage, and then they bring the instruments and anything else, and then boom. Okay. Now it's just a reverse on the out. That's why we're the last one to leave, because after they've taken everything out from underneath us, we drop everything in and get the hell out of it. So a lot of times, we're there at 8 o'clock and we're done at 10 or 11, burn off, and then we come back after the show. Most concerts in 10:30, 11 at night, and then we work up till about 2 o'clock in the morning. Generally it's 1. It just depends on the show. That's a kind of a concert format, but yes, I've been busy. I haven't been hiding. As you see, I'm a busy boy, and has a new book coming out. So let me just pop that on. So I wasn't expecting it this soon. She sent it to me last week. I was working all last week. So now I've got my hands on it and I'm foo-fooing it up. Very extensive. It has multiple trusts in it. And I should know them as many times as I've typed them. Charitable Special Needs Trust, Third Party Special Needs Trust, Asset Protection Trust, Community Property Trust, Decedent Trust, Perpetual Family Trust, Irrevocable Life Insurance Trust, Grantor Retained Annuity Trust, Marital Trust, Farm Trust, Irrevocable Farm Trust, Discretionary Trust, Qualified Terminal Interest Property Trust, AB Trust, Ministry Trust, Qualified Personal Residence Trust, Pets Trust, Testamentary Discretionary Trust. There you go. There will be one more added in there, which were the ones that I've been working on. Like I don't have anything to do. My trust is a little bit more extensive, kind of goes back to the revocable living trust and format wise, but mine is much more extensive than any of Ann's, and mine captures your DNA. So your DNA can be captured, serialized, and deposited into your trust as trust property, or however you want to handle that. But that'll be in the book as well. I need to get that done. I need to go through the book and edit it. It's a time thing. But I wanted to do this because I know over on Mark's show, a lot of people ask about the Venezuelan currency and how it works. So there you go. I'll get that book out. I printed, I don't know. I've been working with a publicist, and even though I have 4 books, all right, I have Ann's first book, which is I self-published. and then I read it again. And then I have her new book coming out, and then I have both of Noelle's books. So I have 4 books that I'm getting ready to pop. Uh, Again, with the ISBN numbers, all copyright, all done professionally. But she wasn't biting, so I'm gonna have to reach out to other entities to see where we can go, because now I'm getting to the point where self-publishing, how much time do I actually have? So it'd be better just to put it in the hands of professionals and let them roll with it. And I don't mind breaking people off, to do that. But I will try to get them self-published as much as possible. All right, let me get back over here. And Vietnam will reinstate at the same time Iraq. That's a possibility. And don't be surprised if Trump starts talking about the Vietnamese dong again soon. I think if you hear him mention it, then that's going to be a dog whistle word. Pay attention for that. That means he's telling Vietnam, hey, remember the last administration when I told you guys y'all were undervaluing your currency? Well, guess what? I have a little stronger hand now, and I'm going to use the bully pulpit to get what I want, and you need to revalue your currency in a kind, gentle way. All right. Robin, you didn't get any damage? Well, that's excellent. I'm glad to hear that. Scarlett, I don't know anything about bonds. That would be a Jeff Rom question, and he's sitting down. And I can't even tell you where he's sitting down. That's how quiet he is. I'm not saying anymore. Other countries will follow Iraq, Cal Elvis says. That's a possibility. How you doing, Tree Frog in Augusta, Georgia? Am I a union man? I am not a union member. Would the local allow me to become a union member? Probably not. Simply because they don't want somebody like me going in and nosing around if I got pissed off or ran for office and went in there and completely changed the office and how they run things, because they're not following the bylaws of the AFL-CIO. There you go. There's the honest answer. Would I be a union man? Yeah, that was my plan when I became a stagehand again back in 2019. Get my hours. You have to have 2,000 hours to get your number. And then boom, and then I could coast after that. I call my own shots. Well, now I'm a casual worker, so I get the shit stuff, which I don't mind, because now I go around and I work with, 20-year-olds, actually the kids of the people that are my peers. And I still work circles around them. They're just like, you're how old? You did what, when? Nico, Hollywood Rigging Electric, Local 728. How you doing, brother? And Buffy's in the house, everybody. Yeah, I've been crazy busy. GG Greatness, how you doing? Jay Wood, is this about the Bolivar or gibberish? Well, it's an introduction to Bolivar, but, I haven't done a live in a hot minute. And, if you don't want to hear me, you're more than welcome to go. You can go watch Nino Rodriguez. You can go watch my boy Jason. There's tons of stuff on. You don't have to stay here. Bigly Huge, Indonesian rupiah. I don't know much about that. That's Mark Z's purview. Do I think we'll get a big announcement on the 4th? That would be my best guess. Next year's the 250th, not this year. So we're looking at 1776. And I know Mark mentioned this as well. I was old enough at the time to remember the bicentennial in 1976. And because my father was in the AIM, American Indian Movement, and he was traveling to Washington, D.C. all the time. I remember him bringing home all this bicentennial stuff, bicentennial belt buckles, all the little collectible stuff that he said, hang on to this, son, it'll be worth money. And, of course, I've lost all that by now. But yeah, what a gift to America that, hey, we're going to go to asset backed, whatever. Most of you may not have caught the fact that Trump said, okay, that your taxes will eventually be nothing. And that's a paraphrase, but that's almost word for word. Y'all can check that out. Go look it up yourself. Is that a question or a statement, Larry? Let's see. We're talking about Elizabeth. It's been a minute. I haven't reached out to her. Of course, I was in Puerto Rico. I thought about reaching out when I was in Puerto Rico, but I didn't. Take it easy, Jay. Come back. Catch parts 2 through 4. That's when we're going to actually get to the nitty gritty of the Venezuelan Bolivar. Gigi. I have not searched for a wealth manager yet. There's other people out there who've done that due diligence that I trust their judgment to be able to ask multiple people, who's your wealth manager, get a reference, and then take those selections and be able to interview them and go through it. Listen, this is what I'm going to do because of the enormity of what's going to happen to me emotionally, mentally, spiritually, even physically, because you're going to feel it when they actually show you on a screen with your name on it, your account number, and that magic number. You're going to change. Now you have all this responsibility and liability, and now you got to handle it. So for me, myself, I'm going to go sit down somewhere. Okay. I've got it made the shade. I don't need to go make waves. I can just sit back and digest this for a minute and accept the responsibility and the liability. I know I've prepared. I already know what I want to do. I have my business plans made up. I have my outlines. I have my trust set up. I'm ready to go, but it's just the overwhelmingness of your life changing in such a dramatic manner because so many things are going to happen to you at once. And I want to discuss these in the currency exchange videos. You're going to move. Okay. That's a major life change. That's traumatic. That, having a kid, getting a job, losing a job, going bankrupt, that kind of stuff, just major life changes that are very traumatic. You're going to go through a lot of them in such a short, rapid succession that it may overwhelm you and you just not be able to handle it. That's why, for me, I'm going to go sit down somewhere and just like kick back and enjoy life for a minute, okay? Where I don't have to worry about paying bills. I don't have to worry about, going to work. I don't have to worry about what time I wake up or what I do, what, when, where. I can just go, just do whatever the hell I want, eat whatever the hell I want, buy whatever the hell I want without worry. But just not go crazy. Just go enjoy life, take somebody that I possibly want to go hang out with for a minute, maybe not permanently, and just, dig life for a minute. Just get it. That's it. I just see so many people getting, overwhelmed with it. And then when you start buying stuff, okay, and you go out and listen, and I'm going to use this as an example, okay? You've always wanted a diamond encrusted Rolex. So you go out and you get your first iced out Rolex, right? Man, you got a rush just buying it, okay? Dropping 10 to 20 to even $30,000. You mean you could spend 100,000 on one if you wanted to. But the fact of the matter is that you're going to get a rush out of that, an adrenaline rush, just a whew, man. And you're going to continue to get that every time somebody asks you about, oh, is that a new watch? Man, that is fucking badass, right? And you're going to feel that. So you're going to want to feel that, and you're going to want to get that all the time, that constant attention, that rush of just something you've never felt before. It's like a crack addict who've never smoked crack before, and boom, they take that first hit, and oh my God, they spend the next year chasing that first hit. They want that same high, and they just can't get it. So I see a lot of people doing that. Okay, they start just buying stuff just to buy stuff, for the thrill of the rush, and it's expensive. They don't really need it. Okay, I already got a Ferrari, I got a Lamborghini, I got a McLaren, I got a Pagani. It just goes on and on and on, and it gets out of control. And then there's going to be people lined up. They're going to be claiming to be wealth managers, and they're going to take you for a ride. Attorneys are going to take you for a ride. You have to vet everybody. You have to be extremely, extremely careful of who you mess with and what you do. That's just my opinion. So no on the wealth manager. I have not done that yet. And I can publicly say that how Jeff got into being the asset manager for the Rodriguez estate. Yeah, Rodriguez. I got to get the state and the trust because they're two different things. He sold bonds. He was basically a bond broker, intermediary. Did he have any as an investment? That I don't know. Does he have currency? Obviously. You're not going to, if you find anybody over here following anything about the RV, they've got some currency. And GG greatness. You feel overwhelmed. Yeah. Imagine struggling, living, week to week, month to month, paycheck to paycheck, year to year, or, rent to rent, whatever that looks like for you. Some people are even living in cars, and, now you have $10 million in your account. That's just overwhelming, Instead of buying instant coffee, you went and bought a Starbucks franchise. You see what I'm saying? You see how outrageous it can get real quick? Yeah, and I understand everybody has a humanitarian project, and I've got, some of you know, some of you don't know, but my goal is to have a place that's a humanitarian project clearinghouse, so everybody can come get together, do their investments, train, educate, meet people, mingle, and go do their thing elsewhere with all the red tape already taken care of, all in one place. Boom, 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 boom. Kind of consolidates everything, because, like, if you talk about veterans, there's so many issues with veterans: homelessness, mental illness, addictions, education. We can go on and on and on. How do you categorize that, and where's that going on, and how do you work with the organizations like the VA? Mark's got an island. Oh yeah, that's right. It's called Puerto Rico. All right. Let me how to feed the super rich. Gigi, I have no idea on the window. Car fixer 123. Yep, that's it. I'm telling y'all, just go sit down and shut up, and just relax, enjoy life. For those of you who are looking at a piece of property, like hey, I want this ranch, or I want this farm, or I want this resort, or I want this condo, or I want this house, or whatever that looks like for you. All you got to do is just pick up a phone, call a real estate agent, and hey, I want to put a contract on that house or that property, and that's it. That locks it up. That'll take it off the market. You put your offer in there, unless somebody else comes and gets in and does a greater offer, and you can wrap all that up on the down low. And then if you have your trust set up and you got your ducks in a row, you're prepared. There you go. Bob on the West Coast this year, maybe, or time to go. Yeah, I don't know. That's always good advice. Don't live and play in the same place. Help those in need, then go fishing. There you go. Well, no one in my family knows about this. Yeah, I know. I've seen families destroyed behind this. Yeah, just travel. Look at some of these places that we can't build. I was telling somebody this last night. Some of these uh, ruins where they have these quarried stones that are so large, so precisely cut, and they're found, hundreds, if not thousands, miles away. Where there's today in 2025, we don't have the technology to produce that. We don't have the technology to ship it, but yet here it is. And then you have all these underground, uh, opulent, and I don't even know if carving is not even the right term. I would have to say some type of laser technology where it melts rock, and yeah, where Angkor Wat is for one. They have them in India. Yeah, just go see these things that we've been lied to all our lives about. Especially world history. And my StreamYard is stuck for some reason. There we go. Yeah. All right. I've got to roll. Got to work in the morning. Have to be at the Houston Grand Opera Warehouse. I told you I work in theater, so opera. Yeah, if you'd have told me that I was going to be working in the Houston Grand Opera Warehouse when I was in high school, I would have laughed at you. Opera. Can't stand opera. And I don't really like opera. Yeah. Thank you. I like stay tuned. I may just do some recordings, and then I don't know what I'm going to do. I may just do some live stuff. I may do it live tomorrow night. Same thing, kind of around the same time. Yeah, we'll see how it is. I'm a truck loader tomorrow, which means usually truck loaders are all the like senior guys, the really old fucks that are even older than me. But for some reason, they didn't want this truck. So I've got a bunch of 500s, which means casual workers, which means new people. And I'm actually going to wear my steel toe boots. And I never wear steel toe boots to work. Never. Never. even though I have 2 pair. But tomorrow, I have no idea who I'm working with. I'll be working with 100-pound, even 1,000-pound dollies for all the staging and the set pieces. So I have no idea what these guys are like because I don't even know who they are. Never worked with them, and if I have, I don't know them. Never loaded a truck with them for sure, and that can be very dangerous when you're working with people who don't know how to unload or load a tractor trailer. Everything goes smoothly tomorrow, which it should. I've worked there before doing stuff, but I've never been a truck loader. Yeah, I'll be plenty energized tomorrow evening to do a live on part 2 of 4. So there you go. Let me get over to the comments. Some people like opera. You know, if it's in Italian, you don't understand, you know, and I get it. I don't think I've ever sat through an opera. I'm backstage. I'm on the fly rail at operas or doing something else. Yeah, I know. It's very seldom I do lives anymore, but I'm going to try to do more for you guys just to keep y'all updated. So thank you, everybody. I really appreciate you being here. Again, Ann's new book on specialty trusts. I don't know when it's going to be available. The PDF will be available for the printed book. I have to find a printer here locally. So I want to get that done, get it cranked up, and I need to get it finished. So I just need to start designating days to finish the projects that I have. So got a lot going on. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I really appreciate y'all coming over here and hanging out with me. Stay tuned for parts 2, 3, and 4. The Fuerte, the Soberano, and the Digitales coming up soon. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a good night.